My name is Josh. I have been online since about 2020 doing virtual concerts, virtual listening parties, virtual interviews. We are having a in-person interview today here at MAGWest. Thank you very much to the MAGWest folks for inviting me out here. And we're going to do some rapid fire, not quite rapid fire, but we're having a few interviews today. We're going to have another session tomorrow at 11 or 11:30. Check your schedules to fact check me on that, please. But yeah, we're going to have several guests here at MAGWest, all musical guests, and we're going to learn a little bit more about them. Starting with my friend Manny, aka Orchkeystra. Orchkeystra, how are you doing, man?
Good to see you again over here.
Yeah, good to see you too. Oh my God.
Believe it or not, it's my very first time attending MAGWest, and I've been in the Bay for a long time. So I'm glad finally I'm catching on.
Wow, you're a local and you're just finally getting out here. That's awesome.
Yes, you know how it works. It's like when your friends from out of town just come visiting, and then you suddenly become tourists. Like, oh, I never know this was here.
Awesome. Well, you're going to get a strong education this weekend, I'm sure. Can I ask just how has your experience been so far?
It's been great. I mean, like I'm still like learning, taking in, concerts starting a little bit. So I just was checking the marketplace and the jam session is pretty happening.
Yeah. The jam space is happening. I mean, all down that road, it's just going to be happening all weekend. So really glad you're here to join us, and you're going to be performing yourself at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So going to be at the main stage, I believe.
At the main stage, yeah. You belong on the main stage. Absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah, awesome. Well, a little context for everybody. Manny and I know each other quite well. You've been featured on several of my bonus stage virtual shows. We also saw earlier this year, you were out at VGM Con in Minneapolis. You had an awesome performance there, and then we just snatched you up and kidnapped you all the way up to Canada to play a show in Winnipeg for Bonus Stage's Beats and Bops concert series.
It was a nice, pleasant, impromptu road trip.
Yeah. Well, you were good on the road. You were good on the stage as well. Just a chill guy to hang out with. That was your first time performing in Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
As Orchkeystra.
As Orchkeystra, right? Yeah. You do have quite a wide spread of talent. You perform with several other groups as well. Before we dig into like some of the VGM stuff, maybe just flex a little bit, brag and let us know some of the other projects that you're in.
Well, I mean, I've been doing music. Technically, I've been doing music for over a decade in the Bay, and I've been in a lot of the top 40 scene before I dive deeper into VGM. But I've been like loving game music for a long time. It's not until the pandemic and until Twitch that I start playing it more, and like Orchkeystra was born. But before, I was just like weddings, clubs, and also concerts and stuff. So I do dance music, I do neo soul R&B stuff, fun hip hop stuff. So those are kind of like what got me into how I do Orchkeystra. That's just a little backstory.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I mean, while we're on that thread, why don't you just kind of give us a little glimpse into like what got you into doing VGM and giving yourself the Orchkeystra moniker?
So the story behind the name itself is kind of, I don't know, cheesy or funny, but I was doing a show. Anybody from the Bay or familiar with this Oakland venue called Yoshi's Oakland? If you're familiar, it's a great jazz venue, but at the same time, we're doing my old band called Philosophy, like FEL. We're doing our CD release, and then what you would call it? There were like 3 keyboard players on stage, and then each keyboard player has like 2 keyboard setup. And then I was looking like so many keyboards. This is like an orchestra, or I mean Orchkeystra. Like, so yeah, that's the story behind that. But I didn't like embrace it as like a persona until like the pandemic, basically. So that's the story. Good, yeah.
Nice. And then during the pandemic, because I know you from Twitch.
Yes.
I think you spent a lot of time. I don't know how active you are currently, but you definitely put in a lot of work building up a Twitch community, performing very regularly. What made you want to be like, oh, I'm going to go and be a Twitch streamer?
Well, a good friend, 2 good friends of mine, they saw me because in the beginning of 2020, I was like, okay, no events and stuff. So like, what can I do to kind of keep the spirit going, you know? And then I started live streaming at the time on Instagram and also on Facebook. And then it was quite involved setup, you know, like just kind of making it work. And then they told me, you should try Twitch, you should try Twitch. I'm like, well, I guess I can do it. How do I prepare for it? So they guide me through it, figure it out. And then along the years, I started finding a community, and like, I know Twitch started as a gaming platform, right? And then I start seeing more than just like the gaming playing itself, and then like the big community of VGM, and then like how come I haven't found out about this all this time? And then like, okay, I'm in, sign me up. And then I start getting more, and then start meeting you, and then other folks from MAGWest, MAGFest, and then VGM Con, and I was like, man, I wish I found this way sooner, but never too late, and it's been a great ride so far.
Yeah. I think that speaks to the strengths not only of Twitch being like a strong community where it's easier to discover other people in a similar interest, in a similar vein of work and creativity, but also, the VGM community is quite strong, and networking is pretty easy to find people that you like, people that want to collaborate, and people who want to, just kind of like hang out and talk about nerdy shit, right?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's crazy. And then people always say the world is small. The world is small, and then until getting on the internet and stuff like that, it's small for real. I'm kidding.
Oh man. Well, since then, and especially since people have been able to return to in-person events, what has it been like for Orchkeystra getting out of the bedroom?
So a little backtrack, a little bit of answering about the Orchkeystra part on the Twitch. So because I couldn't play with actual full band and stuff, so I tried to figure like how can I still get the feel of playing full band. So it's just me. So I tried to get into what you call live looping or using live beat making and stuff. So I start getting the toys and learning them, figuring out, and then I start kind of building my thing on the stream. And then once events are started coming back out there again, and I'm like, how does it feel, or how can I bring this without bringing down the entire studio outside? And then like it took me a minute to get kind of a comfortable setup, a comfortable routine, and it's still a work in progress. But like I'm glad that it started from. So I'm based in the East Bay, in the Bay Area, and then like I found a couple spots at least that I'm a new artist and I would like to kind of start bringing this new format of show. Can I start booking gigs and stuff? And then along the way also like I started applying to like events like MAGFest, and others to perform in person. So I think it's been quite a humbling and great learning experience. Trying to figure out like how can I make it work. So it's like it's a one-man band thing, but how can I make it full people's ears? Just like the toys and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think you do a good job of building your loops. I think you know where to start. Obviously you've had a lot of practice with that. But one of the other things that I really like about your style and the way that you approach your VGM arrangements is you love to bring in little snippets and little pieces from pop music, from famous songs. What was the spark that kind of went off in your mind? You're like, I could do this.
Right, so a little bit story, and I mentioned about my old band called Philosophy, FEL, right? So we did a lot of neo soul R&B hits, like especially the 90s. So I didn't grow up in the 90s here in the States. I grew up in Indonesia. I didn't come here until 2004 to the States. And then with this band, it really kicked my butt in terms of like, I gotta learn all these hits because like, this is like what's hot. So I'm like, okay, I'm learning the parts, chorus and everything. And then through that, it kind of built my repertoire of knowing like, for example, the hits from the 90s and stuff. And then once I got into VGM, I was like, man, I really love VGM and I really love where I came from too. And then how can I mix the two together? Because I mean, the classics from both worlds, I have seen a few people doing it, and some people, I don't like, how can I make my own twist to it? And then like, you guys might see witness it on Sunday. I'm like throwing a little curveball, like yeah, we're doing like a VJ, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, this, like oh, okay. So that's kind of like what I do. It's kind of like musical jokes, but some might enjoy it, some might dance to it, and I appreciate any reaction from it.
Yeah, I think one of my personal favorites that you do is a mashup of Jamiroquai and Animal Crossing. That's on the main stage, 11:30 on Sunday. That's going to be a great spot.
I neither confirm or deny whether that's going to happen on Sunday.
Okay, but nevertheless, that quality of mashup, it's going to be awesome. But, well, yeah, I know we had you in Winnipeg in April, and I think since then we've been just kind of teasing the idea of doing some releases and stuff like that. What's developed there?
So during VGM in Winnipeg, those were like my first time debuting my at that time it was my upcoming single cover single from Kingdom Hearts called Dearly Beloved that I've been working for a little over a year because I know it's not exactly easy, but it's a good challenging process trying to release your own music and after some time I tried to break myself and back in May I finally released one original and one cover singles to the world. Like one is the Dearly Beloved, you guys, sorry, shameless plug. You guys can check it out on Spotify and all the platforms, even on YouTube and stuff. So Dearly Beloved under Orchkeystra. And then also this other, the original called Gots to Go. That's originally was a soundtrack commission that I got from a friend of mine, and he was like creating this game called Pure Game Racing. It's a game plugin that you can, a Steam game that you can play on stream as well, and it's really fun. And then I asked him like, hey, what if I release this as a single? Is it cool? And then like he's like, yeah, go ahead, go for it. And then like I decided to go for it, and like it's quite a surreal and new experience for me because I always just kind of play live, and then like people hear it when I'm in person, and then like now that having music out there, it's like, oh man, it's like my baby's out there. It's interesting.
It's like releasing an album is literally like bringing something to term and then giving birth, and then just being like, well, this is a fully formed human out on its own now. The public will interact, and there's not much else you can do about it. For the interest of time, we will have to start wrapping things up. But before we do that, I know you had another thing that you wanted to mention and to plug. I believe you have a holiday album in the works.
Yes, so it's a little bit of I guess you can call it either a commission or something that happens to be my own project too. I've been working on a holiday album that I'm planning to release this year. So keep an eye on that. And then want to check out the social media, and then I will be taking the updates. I'm doing my best to keep the updates, but yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, please, folks, go and follow Orchkeystra on social media. That is ORCHKEYSTRA. I feel like I was going to be part of the Mickey Mouse Club for a second there. But yeah, so that's on Twitch. Are you still active on Twitch?
Not quite that active, but I'm working on it. I've been just a side news. I just recently become a cat dad, so I'm learning how to juggle between different things, and it's been a great experience.
Quality content right there. So Twitch, Instagram, definitely go look them up on Spotify and YouTube. Thank you so much. It's good to see you here. I'm so happy that you're playing at MAGWest. I mean, you just belong here, and I think you're gonna hear that. It's nice to have a local finally show up.
Thank you, man.
All right, folks, make some noise for Orchkeystra, please. Thank you. Okay, and I see my next interview guest waiting over there. We've got Gwabs, aka Robbie from Super Soul Bros. Gwabs, why don't you come on up here, get comfortable. Now, I'm just going to adjust my microphone for a second here. Give myself a little more height.
Can I sit right next to you?
Yes, that is the preferred.
Can I get a little squeeze on the thigh?
Okay, yeah, just the thigh. Okay, don't too far up. That's all right. Good. No, I'm so happy that you're finally here, Robbie, because I have to call you out. We were at VGM-Con,
Yes.
and we had a interview much like this kind of schedule,
Right.
and I don't know what happened to you.
I think I slept through the alarm or something. It was one of those late. I think we scheduled like a morning, and I forget what happened. But it's in true form. I over obligate myself for most events, and so I texted you an hour or so ago saying, hey, I might not make this one again because I'm literally, I just pulled up and loaded out about 200 pounds of cereal and whatnot that I'm going to use for the Guabs panel tonight. But we finally, with the help of some friends, we got it all sorted, and I literally walked up the steps about 3 minutes ago, right on time, and hey, we made it happen.
Oh my God, awesome. So happy we can finally get you here. You know, if anybody here doesn't know what Robbie is or does, you are part of the Super Soul Bros, and you also have some weird cartoon energy thing, zeitgeist, called Guabs. I don't know if it needs explanation or deserves explanation. It's probably best if people are just surprised and go to the Guabs panel. What time is that starting?
Well, since you asked, I have flyers here for everyone.
Come and get a flyer, yeah.
Everyone can come up and get a flyer.
Yeah.
And I know we have some regulars here. Okay,
Yeah,
feel free to
Thank
pass
you,
them.
Brandish.
That's a thing that's happening tonight. Oh, and more.
Oh my God.
Someone's well aware of the antics that might happen tonight. Yes, well, we've got blue chili salsa of some kind. This will be involved in whatever the panel is tonight here.
Yeah. It is kind of just like a mishmash. I know, like, the thing that always sticks out to me is the phrase dark eating.
Right, dark eating is a big part of it. And I never know how it's going to manifest, but there is some concoction, some weird like test kitchen science laboratory that happens, and these panels always happen in the wee hours. So I don't think I've ever had a Guabs panel earlier than 11 or midnight or so. It's just when, you know, it's the late night vibes. It's when you don't know what to expect and you're kind of in this ethereal moment in time.
It's late, you're feeling a little loopy, you know. It's
and we really lean heavily into that energy.
Yeah.
But I guess in a nutshell, what the panel is, we play bingo. So everyone's got bingo cards. Everyone gets raffle tickets, and no one leaves empty-handed. That's actually the prerequisite. You cannot leave empty-handed. You will leave with some item of some kind, and it's usually something from my garage that I wanted to donate or get rid of, and it's better in your hands than in the landfill.
Yeah, I think when I was 2 years ago, I was at MAGWest. I went to your panel, and I think you gave me just like a sock, just like it was a lone sock. I did not know what its state of cleanliness was, and I just flipped up your hat and just put it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's entirely canonical, as Dak would say. Yeah, it's just it's an energy. Everyone it's participatory. It's we're just riffing off each other.
Yeah,
having a good time.
Yeah, par for the course. Absolutely. Well, other than that, you're performing with the Super Soul Bros. When is your set actually?
Tonight at 7. Yeah, so we just loaded in some gear, and actually right after this talk, I'm gonna try to. What's going on? Hey, yeah, so many friends all at once. We're going to try to do a little hotel room rehearsal, but our set is at 7 tonight. And that'll be nice, just getting that hump, because there's plenty more action planned for the weekend. We're doing the panel tonight, the Guabs panel. Tomorrow morning, midday, we're doing the pool party.
Yeah.
I'm hosting a pool party thing. And then late tomorrow night is the Bravo bus.
Oh. I'm on the Bravo bus.
Okay, good. I'm glad you are. If anyone's curious about the Bravo bus, come talk to me afterwards. I can help you get the Bravo bus pass.
It's just like the Guabs panel on a party bus, and you go to a really bad taco spot and you have bad tacos.
How to say good decision today, bad decision tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a rap song written about this particular taco joint that we go to. We board a Bravo, we board a party bus, 44 passenger party bus in the middle of the night. It's tomorrow, I think we have like a 9 o'clock and an 11 o'clock takeoff time. And we go across town to Taco Bravo, which is one of my favorite taco joints. My dad went to it when he was like in high school. It was like, it's an institution in San Jose.
It's a real trip for your bowels.
Of all kinds, in all capacities. It's a trip. It's a full send. And it's not so much a cleanse, it's just more of a, you go through something when you
It is
participate.
cleansing though.
What's going on, Grant?
I was thinking about it. I was like, it is a cleanse. Like whatever you've got in your gut, like be it good flora, bad flora, it's just gone, and you have a complete reset in the morning.
That's right, and in a sense, it's from whence you came, because I've heard a lot of people say their bowel movements after eating at Bravo, it smells just like the Bravo that they ate the night before. And it looks the same. That's true, that's very true. So anyhow, it's kind of this is going to be our 4th year. It's the quadrifecticus year of the Bravo bus. The first year was 2019, I think, and then we've kept it going as we've been able to do in-person MAGWest, and I don't see it stopping. The bus is it's got the momentum.
It just kind of drives itself.
It's just downhill from here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Freewheeling.
Oh man. Well, maybe to make sure that we're not just talking about weird and disgusting things this whole time.
Yeah.
You actually have some serious bodies of work that you've been exhibiting around town. Earthbound USA, a documentary that you were part of composing music for and scoring that, right?
Yeah, exactly. My sister Jazzy has been working on a documentary about Earthbound, and more specifically the fan community that huddled around Earthbound and kept the game relevant, kind of created the cult phenomenon that it is. And so Jazzy has been working on it for 10 years, and it finally got pushed to the finish line last year in November, and so this year we've been kind of doing a little screening tour. It's been playing at various festivals. It's won some awards. In fact, it just got, I think it was nominated for, what is it? In Arizona, it's like a local Emmy nomination for culturally significant historic documentary. And so, yeah, it's a very big project that took a lot of time, and I kind of helped on the sidelines on those 10 years in various capacities, like bouncing story ideas and editing ideas off of Jazzy. I would help with the editing, the filming, and whatnot. But kind of the main title that I walk away with as being the composer. It's a little odd having an original soundtrack for a documentary, but hey, it's a family affair, so might as well have some fun. And with Earthbound being a game with such an eclectic soundtrack, we wanted that to be echoed in the documentary. So a lot of different styles and a lot of 90s energy kind of put into the soundscape of that soundtrack. We got into some Smash Mouth sounding stuff, some late 90s kind of Y2K era. There's some General MIDI. There's some it's really a love letter to the Web 1.0 that era, and there's some really fun reenactments and scenes, and I don't want to describe it too much. I would just say check it out if you can.
Yeah, definitely check it out. And on top of all of that, to speak to the community, you also reached out to a lot of VGM personnel to help you score all of that.
Absolutely. So it was really like most projects, it's a slow simmer, and then once things get real in the last 10% of the production timeline, it's okay, we're gonna do 90% of the work in the last 10% of the time. And so once we knew which songs or different cues were gonna be used in the edit, I wanted to involve as many of the VGM community as I could. So I think we got about 50 members different vocalists and musicians and of all different styles, and you even played some guitar on one of the tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just became this big labor of love. Like anyone who was a fan of Earthbound wanted to participate, and I couldn't get everyone involved because just my mental capacity of wrangling that many stems and organizing the whole thing, I hit my limit. But it was a good learning experience, and I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. You should go check it out. Where can people watch that if they want to stream it?
It's on all the main platforms like Apple TV, what are the ones? Amazon, the Prime, and so if you just search Earthbound USA, you'll find it on all the platforms. But you can just go to earthboundusa.com, and they also have all the links there. They also have a physical, which they're getting a new batch of those printed, but like a Blu-ray. They've got, it's like $21 for a Blu-ray, and it's like got so much other deleted scenes and extra interviews. Because making a documentary, it's not like a film where you have a script and you know what you're going to shoot. It's more like you're going to make 20 movies and then decide how to make a 1.5 hour, how to cut down all that interview footage and find the distilled story that's interesting. So there's a lot that was left on the cutting room floor, but you can find a lot of that on the Blu-ray. It's good value.
Oh my God!
I know, physical. Yeah. It's so Web 1.0.
Oh man. Well, since then you have actually added more to your composer credits. I believe you've been composing some music for games like Metal Slug.
Yeah, we did in the last few years, kind of like right about when COVID hit. We had done some music for Framemakers. That was kind of like our gateway into the composing scene. We did the Framemakers, and we're still working on that. Alex, who's right over here, Alex Popoff of Super Soul Bros, he's just chilling back there. He's been working on a ton of tracks for Framemakers, and currently there's one that, or a couple that we're working on. But then after that, we also got involved with Metal Slug, the mobile Metal Slug, Awakening, which we couldn't talk about for a long time because it wasn't released in the States. It had a soft launch, I think a year or two ago in various Asian countries, but then it finally got like the Western, the US release this last July, which was super cool. And so we got Tony Dickinson involved with that. He was helping with I call it the Tony touch. I ask him to just kind of grace everything with the Tony touch, give it the polish and the production, and then yeah. So we ended up making a lot of music for that game. A lot of it was more cover, like actually. The game producer wanted to stick with a lot of the classic melodies, so we ended up not doing so much original, although there are a couple original tracks in there that are fun.
And you've been performing some of those original pieces with the group, right?
Yeah.
In
fact, that's kind of a big part of what we're going to be doing tonight. Is we're hitting a lot more original stuff that we've done, both for games / original tunes that are inspired by game soundtracks or certain types of games. There's some Sonic kind of energy in some of the tunes.
Big Sega energy.
Yeah, big Sega energy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that's awesome. We don't have a whole lot more time, but just maybe to wrap up, you have a recent obsession with Dark Souls games?
Oh, Dark Souls.
That's what you gave me, all right?
Did I say that?
You
oh,
did.
Wow.
Oh, no, that's Orchkeystra. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, okay, no. Because I read the wrong line. I still got your number, Orchkeystra. No, there's bringing it all back to Taco Bravo. Apparently you're developing a Taco Bravo game?
Oh, that's right, yes. I've been sitting on this idea, this concept for many years, but I'm starting to get starting to put pen to paper, starting to like get a prototype put together, but it's essentially like a love letter to like 90s point and click adventure games, but specifically like FMV adventure games, like Phantasmagoria or Night Trap, or one of my favorites, well, I mean, Seventh Guest, you gotta have that in there, but Orpheo's Curse is one of my favorite games of that era. And so this would be an adventure where it takes place one night at Taco Bravo, and you meet all the clientele that frequent that location and all of the weird energy that happens late at night at Taco Bravo, and you know, solve puzzles, meet interesting people, and hopefully I'll have a compelling story to tell through that.
Do you make tacos?
That's not necessarily.
I mean, if it's a point and click adventure, you can combine items, right? That's just what my thought was.
There probably will be a point where you can make tacos.
A point and click where you can make tacos.
It's good though, and then it'll have an entirely original General MIDI soundtrack, just like Seventh Guest, and yeah, it's going to be a vibe. It's very atmospheric. I think that's what they say on Steam. The Steam tags, atmospheric. Right. So that's going to be one of those big selling points.
Oh man! All right. Well, definitely don't pitch a release date before you know.
Oh no!
Because you don't want people to be disappointed.
Correct.
You really want to have a quality Taco Bravo game. Feels like an oxymoron, but I believe you'll get there.
100%. If anyone's interested in learning more about that. My hope is by Super MAGFest, which is January next year, to have a Steam page up, and so people can wish list it and have at least 4 pretty nice screenshots, and perhaps a playable demo of some kind.
Wow, big promises. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say? Any other places people should go and follow you and your works?
I mean, you can find me. I'm on all the socials. I'm not very active, but you can find me on all the socials at Gwobs. It's that simple. Just GWOBS.
Heavy on the BS.
Yes, you can't spell Gwobs without BS. There's a heavy dose of that in there, and yeah, I'll be around all weekend. I'm staying here, even though this is my hometown of San Jose. I'm staying in the hotel. I'm gonna make the most of this MAGWest. I'll be at the panel tonight. I'll be at the pool party tomorrow. I'll be at the Bravo bus later that night. And then also, don't tell anyone, but Sunday I might have a secret cereal society meetup. So keep your ear to the ground on that. I brought a lot of cereal, and hopefully we'll have a lot of milk as well. But yeah.
I'll just take it dry, man.
Yeah,
All right.
Straight, no
Robbie
chasing.
from Super Soul Rolls, aka Gwobs, everybody. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, finally we can get this interview here. All right, well, our next guests, multiple, are a selection of members from the virtual video game orchestra here, not virtually. All right, give them a round of applause as they come on up. And we've only got 3 microphones, so I think you'll all have to decide how to divvy those up. That one has a limited range of motion. If you need to unclip, do your best. Anyways, that's the best I can advise. All right, well, I think I'm meeting a few of you perhaps for the first time. Why don't we do some individual introductions, starting with our good friend Brandish Hardon here.
Hi, my name is Brandish Hardon. My name is Brandon Harnish. I also go by Rancha in all caps with spaces in between with an underscore at the end. I also go in the cubing community by Harn. I founded Virtual Video Game Orchestra about 4.5 years ago, and then it was too much, and so I quit, and these 2 lovely people took over for me and are doing a better job than me. Thank God.
Hello, my name's Grace. I picked up the pieces when Brandon dropped and ran back in 2022. Right before MAGWest 2022 actually, so this is like my first real VVGO event, fresh job. Yeah, I play cello. I am now an ex-physicist moving to, I am a mega Kingdom Hearts fan, and I own 2 snakes.
Wow.
Today's my snake's birthday. Say happy birthday to Zeddy.
Happy birthday.
Hey y'all, I'm Justin. I'm one of the executive directors of the Virtual Video Game Orchestra. Originally from New York, founder of the Rochester Institute of Technology's Game Symphony Orchestra. This is my 3rd MAGWest. We've been coming to MAG events since MAGFest 2019. And that was really where we met the whole video kid community and started making these connections, and it's just been a good vibe since.
Hi, I'm Chase Bethea. I'm a professional multi-award-winning video game composer. I've been working in the industry for 4,745 days. Because if anyone wants to do math, they can do it in 2 years, but I'm too tired. So I have the honor of being here as a special guest through MAGWest. This is my 4th year. I've only been to MAGFest as a celebrity guest, but I'm actually already booked for next year, so you'll see me there. I have the honor to be collaborating with the Virtual Video Game Orchestra, conducting a piece called Pugnacity in Port Royale, which is a game that I'm scoring called Something Stones to make and develop it. So it's a little bit about me. I do a lot more, trust me. I've worked on Teamfight Tactics. I did the music for Get the trailer. I'm the composer for Around. And that's the game that's better than Minecraft because it has a story. I'm just gonna put it out there. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Wow, incredible. Okay, well, it must be a huge transition because I know Virtual Video Game Orchestra, you usually have like a large collective of musicians spread across a wide area. What's it like to translate that to being present at a video game convention?
As the conductor this year, being present has been difficult. I'm sorry. No, but seriously, like, it's been amazing. We have about 50 people in the group this year. It's the largest group that we've had by a small margin. And I think that now that it's our 3rd year doing this, from the help of all the staff and all the music preparers and everything, and the community of musicians who are only making music online, they have put forward their arrangements for us to use, and without their help, none of it would have come together today. And I'm really, actually, after the rehearsal today, I'm very excited for our set. It's at 1:30 on the main stage. I was really impressed with the level of musicianship and flexibility that was displayed in the rehearsal. And we got out of the room early. I don't know how that happened, but we did. With 9 tunes in our set and that many people and crowd traffic control, we started 20 minutes late. Regardless, we got through everything, and people are coming from all over. We have one of our AV people flew in from England. We have a contingent from the Video Game Orchestra of UC Davis. We have a contingent from Reno Video Game Symphony, where I'm the director there. And we have some from Game Music Ensemble at UCLA. So there are these really cool live groups that do this as well that we can bring together, but also people who are just looking for a group, seriously.
Right.
And found us somehow and decided, yeah, I'm going to make the trip and come out here to San Jose and be part of this thing that's only been virtual and bring it to reality, bring it to live performance, which is what we all wanted during the pandemic, but weren't able to get. So I'm really excited.
Right, so then was it just kind of like an open call for musicians who were coming to MAGWest and wanted to join up?
Yeah, basically, we did several rounds of like social media posts, word of mouth, saying, hey, fill out this form if you want to play with us, and we got numbers there, picked our repertoire based on the numbers of musicians that we got, make it fit our group as best as possible. We have learned from past mistakes that we cannot register our actual main projects that we released 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so if anyone's interested in playing with us next year, keep an eye out. We'll be doing this again.
Well, there you go. Is it even feasible to estimate how many musicians are currently part or have been part of the Virtual Video Game Orchestra?
The weird thing about being online is that sounds like such a simple question. How many members do you have? But it's a loaded question. Because We have 1,500 people in our circle. Do we have 1,500 members? I think that's a crazy thing to say. We usually get about 50 people per project around. We probably have 80 active members in total with our production teams. We have 40 people doing miscellaneous things from audio mixing, video editing, comms, socials, etc. So I would say 50-ish with emphasis on the ish. And the fun thing is the people who come out to MAGWest, a lot of them are not actually involved or at the moment involved with the online scene. So we get a little bit of like members that we know that we haven't met in person, a little bit of new people, and make all this like a web of connections here.
Yeah. Conventions are probably the best place for that. I mean, it's probably like very low barrier to just have people on the internet show up, and I'm sure you find a lot of talent there, but it's nice to make a connection and a face to the name, etc. Now, I know that you guys have done several projects like based around a certain piece or a certain video game. What's your most recent project that you've completed?
Oh boy.
Well, actually, I'll have. So, the one that was most recently released was my fault. It was opening bombing mission from Final Fantasy VII and from the remake. I combined the ideas. It was a giant arrangement. We had over 600 recordings submitted for it. It took 2 years to produce, and it is the best thing that I've ever been part of, bar none. Like, I've done a lot of this video game orchestra stuff, a lot of other random things. This is the coolest of all of them, and I'm extremely proud of it. But while I say that this is the most recent one, there is another one that's being premiered very soon. I think it's next week.
Yeah, October 6th, we have our 20th project coming out, Hikari Simple and Complete from Kingdom Hearts, arranged by our other executive director, Finney Jacobs-Delaney, who is not here. He's hopefully at home working on that mix for the 6th, so yeah. Yeah, it'll be a good one. Super excited, so try to tune in to watch that.
Nice. And that is being debuted as a video or a YouTube premiere.
Yeah, we're gonna we usually do a Twitch live stream to talk about the piece with some guests. First at 2:15 p.m. Pacific on that Sunday, and then at 3 p.m. our YouTube video will go live. So,
That's really cool. Well, I mean, having such a large number of musicians, obviously that's like a lot of talent you can draw from, a lot of potential for some really great things. And I know Chase had offered some notes about not only how you guys cover video game music, but also create some video game music. Chase, do you want to talk to us a little bit about, I think you gave me some notes about composing here, bud?
Yeah, what are those notes again?
Okay, so let's see. We had talking about how, you know, the difference of like composing games for unique or niche genres. For instance, you know, everybody knows what a battle music sounds like. That genre has been done to death. Everybody kind of has, unfortunately, just like a precedent set for what those things are. However, you know, writing music for more ambient settings or different game genres even, there's a lot of difference and nuance there, isn't it?
Absolutely. So 3 projects come to mind, and one of them is the On the Peril of Paris soundtrack, which they won an award for Best Original Soundtrack through the Knicks Award, and it's the first in the game space. Thank you. It's the first in the game space for it to be completely bossa nova in the sound that it is, but in the game you play as an AI trying to convince others that you're human, but you're not. So it's like, you know, very relaxed in that regard. And then it moves into a soundtrack that I collaborated with VVGO the first time we collaborated. It's like Starting the School for Witches, which is like a folk hybrid. And that has like nothing but like folk instruments. It's harpsichord with mandolin. It's got like different Greek instruments and things like that. Like there's a zither in there. I'm playing that as well. And what's cool about that is, in the sense, it's a visual novel RPG. But I created it, and I don't just write game music loops. I actually created 2 mechanics that haven't been done before. So when you open the game the first time, the title screen is not going to be the same for any one of you. The music is going to be instrumentally different every single time. And then in the combat music, it's going to relate to the spells. So there's going to be a lot of percussion that relate to earth. There's going to be a lot of strings that relate to fire. And there's going to be a lot of airy instruments that relate to air and then respectively to water. And then moving into Sunken Stones, which is the game that's mostly inspired by the Chinese game Go and Into the Breach. And so for that, I was tasked to bring the sound of pirate music from the Caribbean. Now, I'm Caribbean American, so my heritage is like Bajan, which is Barbados, and then so the developer is Jamaican. So when he asked me to do that, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, no Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney at all. We got to really make this sound like an island form of the orchestra. So for combat, I mean, it's not really heard in the space. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'd love to know, I love this type of research, but I did my homework. I played Risen 2, I played Escape from Monkey Island, I played Sid Meier's Pirates, and I don't hate physical novels or retro games, so I really do.
Oh, I love Sid Meier's Pirates. Ridiculous. Oh man. And so then, like for you as a composer, what is it like then to have this huge swath of musicians kind of at your disposal versus using the VST?
I wish I had it all the time. It's like that big toy you dream about like every night, and you finally get there and you're like, oh, it's really mine. Okay, don't break it. I'm like,
This could be arranged.
hey, let's talk more.
You'll leave it on the table? All right, that's fair. Yeah, all right. So Chase, then your role is mostly composing and using the video game orchestra as like your palette.
Yeah, well, I played a lot of the I'm a multi-instrumentalist too. Like, there's actually a harmonica from one of the museums I had in the exhibit in TV. So I play, thank you. So I play a lot of instruments on the scores, and I really value that because those are other toys. I have literally a tub, and it's got like this whirling board thingy, and it's got this tambourine, it's got everything. I got kalimba, and I'm playing a lot of those things, recording them. Because I'm also in the movement, it's live performances myself along with the collaborations, and then guest speakers and stuff too. So yeah, I'm all over the place in terms of just trying to make sure that I'm seen and I'm heard.
Awesome. Oh yeah, we're really glad you were able to join. Really surprised. I don't know. I was kind of expecting initially just to have Brandish to talk about, and we've got this huge group here. I mean, like, you guys are huge anyways. What is the geography of where you guys are at?
Oh geez, when I was executive director, running a production meeting for a staff of 40 meant like, so a few things happened as side effects of running a group this big and being on top of, trying to be on top of all the aspects of it, was that my typing speed went from 90 words a minute to 130. That's nuts. Like I was like, I was typing away one day and somebody's like, that's really fast. No, I have about 90 words a minute. They're like, I don't believe you. And I did a typing test and it was like 130 words a minute. And I was like, oh my God, this has changed my brain chemistry. But then the other side effect is that I got really good with time zones. Because I was like, okay, we have somebody in the Philippines who I have to coordinate with, somebody in Singapore, somebody in the Netherlands. When Eddie was in Hong Kong, I had to deal with that. We had a bunch of people in England. And then all across the U.S. We had some in South America. Poland, Eastern Poland, kind of by the Ukrainian border. So a lot of different time zones to worry about. We had one in Hawaii, and because Hawaii doesn't do daylight savings time, it was always weird figuring out, okay, who's doing daylight savings time when, where. At least Hawaii, you don't have to worry about things. The dates are crazy. They don't align. Nobody decides this except for local municipalities, local jurisdictions. So it's like, oh my God. But yeah, that's a bit of the geography of the productions. Since, One of the other facets of VVGO that we haven't talked about yet is the community albums, which are called mixtapes, which are really what keeps the community going consistently. And these are all arrangements done by people within the community just coming forward and saying, hey, I have a piece that I arranged from this game for this particular theme. I'm looking for these different instruments on it, and they fill the parts. And how many mixtapes are there? 11? Yeah, they're on 11 now.
In 4.5 years.
Our 10th will be releasing
Yeah.
soon. Our current one, we're doing a Halloween themed one, which we just closed submissions for the arrangements. It's our biggest one yet. We have 24 tracks. So if anyone here is a musician and wants to get involved, there's plenty of little projects there that we can hop into.
In particular, I'm excited for Silent Hill 2 Dog Ending. If you know what it is, then you know. If you don't know, find out.
And if you're not a musician, but you have a dog, he is looking for recordings.
It's like literally a dog sample on a MIDI keyboard. Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, I mean, besides musicians, like it obviously takes a lot of people behind the scenes to keep VVGO running and to run smoothly. If there are people who wanted to help out in some of those capacities, what are some key areas that you guys could really use a hand with?
Anyone who likes to post on social media, please contact us immediately.
Here for anyone interested.
But I mean, also another area that we particularly would love some more help in is in our video editing scene, which sounds a lot more intimidating than it is. I have negative video graphics skills, but all you really need is the ability to follow a tutorial and a computer that runs Adobe Premiere, and you will be golden, and I will love you forever. So those two areas are what I personally think we need the most. Our music prep director would love to have more people who can engrave music. Our audio director would love people who know how to mix, who know how to master, who are willing to learn audio editing skills. Anything under the sun, we are most likely looking for in some capacity. So please don't be afraid to reach out.
As we've kind of like grown, we've been trying to mature a lot of our systems and kind of breaking down the workflows into more concrete, specific tasks. And so as part of that, we're just trying to find more ways that interested bodies because otherwise what ends up happening is you end up having a couple of people who end up front-loading the bulk of the work, and that can lead to burnout. So we're doing a lot to try and balance it all, prevent situations that no one on this table has dealt with before. Not looking at Brandon.
I totally wasn't doing the work of 12 people.
And basically, giving a platform for people to learn, exercise the skills, grow with these individual tasks, and learn more than anything else.
I think that really is the way to attract people to help out. Is like, it's a skill building opportunity, and like learning basic video editing. That
I learned that from scratch the other year because I'm like, oh wow, I've got the Adobe suite. I know we need help. Let me see if I can do it. And it's great. It's a great time.
crash course your way through.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, we have a lot of tutorials made by our old video director, Robbie, who has made all of our videos up until now. He's amazing.
And more than tutorials, also tooling, because he built a lot of things that you kind of will like drag and drop the frames and the plugins to sync everyone properly, put them into like 3x2 grids, things like that. So that way you don't need to have the experience or the skill set to do it like individually, because there's all these things that facilitate the process, which not only makes us go faster, but also lets people with even less experience contribute significant portions.
And the other aspect, if anybody here isn't aware of your YouTube content, like these videos are impressive. You have, you know, the fact that you have as many musicians as you do, you are capturing all of their performances in video and implementing them somehow in these vast overlays and graphics and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that you've churned out is absolutely impressive, and so I would encourage you to go and check it out. Definitely decide, oh, I could be part of something like this. Yeah, it's
always
massive.
looking for new members. If you played unusual instrument that is not a classical, orchestral instrument, please reach out. Please join. We write for everything. So I've had Jaw Harp featured on several tracks before.
I learned how to prepare music for multiple different kinds of harp. I learned how to prepare music for guzheng. I learned how to prepare music for different brass in the key of G. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon has learned a lot. Can you just help Brandon offload his brain so that he has more capacity?
The good news is that my brain power is diminishing quickly, and so now I can go full monkey mode. One thing I'm doing later in this panel, Brian cubed me. At 1:30 in the morning on Saturday night, Sunday morning, I'm doing a Rubik's Cube tutorial panel. It's not going to be really a tutorial panel, but maybe somebody can do some of the thing. Can I even do the thing? But yeah, if you want to come by at stupid o'clock, post Bravo Bus, which Robbie mentioned earlier, then you might be able to come by and do part of this. So, yeah.
I thought that was going to take longer, and so I was ready with the dog ending from Silent Hill 2, but no, I should have known better. I know. Oh my god. Well, just to recap, you guys are playing at 1:30 tomorrow in the main stage. How many? You said you have 50 members of the orchestra, approximately. Okay, cool. Are you playing any persona?
Yes. So every year, all of our songs are largely sourced from our community mixtape, and then we do what we can with our wonderful collaborators like Chay. Can't speak. And then we try and do one more arrangement for the theme of the conference. So since it's Persona, Ian Martin, which I'm sure many of you know, spearheaded the arrangement for I Believe, which is going to be a big, full, get everyone together.
Oh, I wish you could be here for that. Oh man. Well, yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here, folks. Yeah, it's been the bonus stage power hour, almost a little bit more than that, but thank you, each of you, Brandon, Grace, Justin, Chase, Brian's actually pretty nice, for being here. Give them a round of applause, folks. And definitely go check them out at 1:30 tomorrow. We're going to have another one of these bonus stage power hours at, I believe, 11:30 tomorrow. We're going to be featuring Ill Exotic, Bayokyo, Frivolous Shara, and Score, all interviewed here on this variety stage. Otherwise, I am actually going to be doing some emceeing on the main stage this weekend. I'm also doing a panel at 11:30 p.m. tonight about my Pokemon collection. So if you want to hear about living form dexes and all the ridiculous niche knowledge that you can learn about collecting Pokemon, that will be the place to be. I will be at Panels 1, 11:30 p.m. and I am just going to get fucked after that, I think. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for coming to the bonus stage power hour. We'll see you back here tomorrow.